Hello students. Law of dominance and law of segregation we have discussed in the last class by taking the example of monohybrid cross. One more principle of Mendel or one more law proposed by Gregor Johann Mendel is law of independent assortment. In this class we will discuss about the law of independent assortment by taking the example of dihybrid cross. First, let us discuss about dihybrid cross. Dihybrid cross. A cross between two homozygous or pure pea plants which are differing in two pairs of contrasting characters. A cross between two homozygous or pure pea plants which are differing in two pairs of contrasting characters is called dihybrid cross, or it is also called as inheritance of two genes. Inheritance of two genes. Now, let us discuss about the dihybrid cross by taking the example of color of the seed and shape of the seed. Color of the seed and shape of the seed. Means in order to conduct dihybrid cross, we need to take two pea plants, homozygous pea plants, but both are showing differences in two pairs of contrasting characters. Two pairs of contrasting characters are, one character is shape of the seed. Shape of the seed is one character which includes two forms or contrasting forms such as round and wrinkled. Shape of the seed is one character which includes two contrasting forms. One is round shaped seed and another one is wrinkled shaped seed. And one more character is color of the seed. Color of the seed includes two contrasting forms such as yellow color and green color. Yellow color is the dominant form, whereas green color is the recessive form. First, I will take the parents, that is, P means parents, that is, round yellow. Round yellow means plant having dominant characters is crossed with wrinkled green. This one is crossed with wrinkled green. Round shape of the seed is dominant form, whereas wrinkled shape of the seed is recessive one. Here, yellow color of the seed is dominant, green color of the seed is recessive one. We have to take or select two pure pea plants which are showing similarity in all the characters except in shape of the seed and color of the seed. That means we can observe differences only in shape of the seed and color of the seed. In one plant, all the seeds are round shaped and having yellow color, whereas in another pea plant, shape of the seed is wrinkled and color is green. The next one is genotype. Genotype of the parent. Round is the dominant character, so we have to take capital letter, capital R, capital R, capital R. Because genes are always present in a pair, yellow is dominant, so capital Y, capital Y. Here wrinkled is recessive one, so small r, small r. Green is also recessive one, small y, small y. we have to take dominant forms of the character by the help of capital letters, and recessive forms of the character should be taken by the help of small letters. So round, yellow are dominant forms of the character, hence we have to take capital R and capital Y. But always genes or alleles are present in a pair, so capital R, capital R, capital Y, capital Y. And in case of wrinkled green, that is the recessive one, so we have to take small letters, small r, small r, small y, small y. Next step is the formation of gamete. Gametes. What are the types of gametes produced by homozygous dominant forms and homozygous recessive forms? Say these are dominant and these are recessive one. This pea plant produces the gametes having dominant alleles like capital R, capital Y. The gametes produced by this plant are having capital R, capital Y, whereas the gametes produced by the another plant will be small r, small y. Here it is small r, small y. Here it is capital R, capital Y. Here small r, small y. Next step is fertilization, means fusion of male and female gamete. That gives rise to F1 generation. F1 generation or first filial generation. F1 generation or first filial generation means here we can observe the fusion of two gametes such as capital R, capital Y and small r, small y. When these two gametes gets fused, then the F1 generation will contain capital R, small r and capital Y, small y genes. Genotype of the F1 generation will be capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Here we have to select male gametes from anyone or female gametes from another. For example, consider from this plant we have selected male gametes, means pollen grains, and from this recessive plant we have selected female gametes, that is egg. Then we have to fertilize these male and female gametes, or fusion of male and female gamete give rise to F1 generation. In the F1 generation, we can observe the presence of capital R, small r and capital Y, small y. This is F1 generation, or it is a hybrid. It is a hybrid. When this type of alleles or genes are present together, then we will get round shaped seed, and here we will get yellow colored, round shaped yellow colored seed. We will get round shaped yellow colored seed, because in this capital R, small r, capital R is the dominant gene. Here this one is the dominant, and in this capital Y is the dominant gene or dominant allele. In the presence of dominant gene, it expresses itself by suppressing the expression of recessive allele. Always dominant gene expresses itself by suppressing the expression of recessive gene or recessive allele. Means here, in presence of recessive allele, this dominant gene or dominant allele express its character. Capital R is responsible for round shape of the seed. So here we will obtain round shape of the seed. And capital Y is the dominant gene, whereas small y is recessive one. In presence of dominant gene, it expresses itself. Means here capital Y is responsible for yellow color of the seed. So we will get yellow color round shaped seed in the F1 generation. And we will not get the recessive characters in the F1 generation. Next step, after obtaining F1 generation, the next step is self-pollination of F1 generation. Self-pollination of F1 generation means F1 into F1. Self-pollination of F1 generation or F1 into F1. F1 into F1 means here F1 means capital R, capital Y, small y is crossed with capital R, capital Y, small y. These are hybrid pea plants, but these are homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive pea plant. This is important. This one is the homozygous dominant one. This is homozygous recessive one. But in the F1 generation, we will get the hybrid. In the F1 generation, we will get hybrid. Hybrid means having dominant and recessive genes together. Having dominant and recessive genes together, then it is called as hybrid. So, self-pollination of F1 generation. Then what are the gametes produced by the self-pollination of F1 generation? Then what are the genotypic ratio, phenotypic ratio of F2 generation? About these things we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.